Hello and welcome. I wish the news could be significantly better, but both we've drawn away again in the FA Cup to Aston Villa or Chelsea, assuming we can win a replay. And Leeds United have been devastated by some transfer news, and there is plenty of news today, far too much to talk about. But first of all, subscribe. It's one click for you. It's massively appreciated for me. And if I remember right, the percentage of you that still aren't subscribed is like 85 or something like that. So pump that number up. Come on, guys, let's get it together. Anyway, diving into the news, and as per usual, I'm just going to flash this up very quickly. We're having our tier list of if it's tier 0, completely rely on it. It's an official announcement. Tier 1 is good, 2, less good, 3, is 4, probably don't listen. Anyway, diving headfirst into it, Leeds United have dealt with some transfer devastation because we've completely missed out on a target after it's been hijacked by another club. There has been a very, very weird transfer saga surrounding Daiki Hashioka, who is a right-back that I think was playing in Belgium off the top of my head, and was initially set for a Leeds United move. We'd managed to overcome a challenge from, I think it was Genk, who were also after him, which shows that he's got a clear level of quality. Genk have repeatedly played in European competitions, and it was a very good sign that we were able to go, okay, you want to come to Leeds United instead because you know we have a good chance of making it to the Premier League, and everything was fantastic. And it had a good source behind it. David van den Broek, I think is how you pronounce it. It's a tier 2 journalist in the Netherlands, Belgium, one of the two, but he is known for keeping track of players at that club. However, there have been some major new developments that have thrown this entire thing out the window. He is instead expected to go to Luton Town, Premier League club. Very, very annoying. The source for this one is Phil Hay, tier 1, which means that it's basically confirmed. And it has sent some fans into a massive spiral because Leeds United have again missed out on a target that we wanted, or at least we have been reported to want for an extended period of time. Which, bad sign, admittedly, but it could always be worse because you can guarantee there's probably something going on in the background. And it's confusing from the player's perspective because Hashioka surely sees that Leeds are likely to be at least contending for the Premier League this season, and Luton are likely to be in the Championship next season. It's an odd one. It's one of those that probably comes down to personal terms. It's hard to say. I think there's still no need to panic because there's still time, but we'll get into that. There has been another severe missed opportunity as well, as Leeds United have missed out on Manuel Benson at Burnley, a winger, very creative, lots of goals in him, is now likely going to Southampton. Word has it that it's a loan move with an option to buy. I don't know if that's guaranteed if Southampton end up going up. I've got no idea. But the source on this one is Sasha Tavolieri, who is effectively reliable most of the time. And this is a fairly big pain point for the Whites. He performed really well at Burnley last year. He scored 11 goals in their promotion campaign, which means he's got experience of doing this. And having watched the match against Plymouth Argyle last night, you could see that there were various points where Gnonto seemed off the pace or a little bit rusty. And you can't have that in a battle for promotion. Either you need to make sure Gnonto's getting more minutes, or you get a player in that doesn't feel that rust, because I don't think Poveda felt it. I think Poveda got into the match really quickly and played very effectively. Meanwhile, Gnonto effectively stumbled his way through. He had a couple of decent chances, but didn't have the impact that he will have wanted. I think getting Manuel Benson in, who is someone that has a good few minutes at Burnley this season, knows what it takes to get promoted, and has a track record of doing so, would have been fantastic. However, not to be the case, he's ended up at Southampton instead. There is, however, a good news element to all of these stories. The club are very clearly still active. Because despite all of the losing out on players, we lost out on Manuel Benson, sure. We lost out on Hashioka, sure. 2 players that would have been really, really good to get in, we've not gotten. After chasing after for I don't know how long because I'm not at the club. But the sources on this are fairly effective. We've got Baron Cross, who I consider to be tier 2 because he's fairly efficient when it comes to it. There's a source that I know personally who I consider tier 1.5. Admittedly, if he was more public about it, then I'd say tier 1. But 99% of the time when he has told me that there is something happening or he's said something online, it's happened. That includes signing Heavy Gracia, Victor Orta leaving, Marsh getting sacked, all that sort of stuff. Plus, it is just common sense. If you look at the fact that Phil Hay said that Luton had effectively hijacked the move, that means that the club need to have been making a move in the first place. You can't hijack, for example, a plane that isn't in the air. Nonsense. You can't, crash a car that's not driving. there's clearly movement going on behind the scenes. It's not landed in the right places for us right now, but there is stuff going on, and there is still time left in the window. If I remember right, it's the 1st of February that the window shuts, which means that we've got 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, 1st, 5-ish days, off the top of my head, to get some deals done, which I think is plenty of time, especially considering the 49ers have very clearly been making some moves, putting interest out there, having conversations with the likes of a Ben Godfrey and a Ben Johnson, and it is infuriating. I completely understand that. I'm also a fan. I was also in the West End yesterday, seeing Anthony hit the post followed by Nonto hitting the bar, seeing Bamford's first touch being a shot on target that was saved impeccably by the Plymouth keeper, seeing Bamford roll the ball very slightly outside the post, and it is infuriating seeing us not winning these matches when we can, seeing Shackleton get caught out of position and then that leads to a goal. And that's why I also want these signings, but I understand that when it comes to wanting a signing, you can't just sort of wish it into existence. It takes time, it takes effort, and I'm fairly sure that's what the 49ers are putting in. You can hold this against me if you want on the 2nd of February if we've not signed anyone. But until then, I think we keep backing the club. We keep saying, well, this is what I'd like, but I'm not going to critique the club for not doing it yet, because it's not actually cost us. In the Championship, we have been fine. In the FA Cup, when we played a heavily rotated side, yes, we drew. But it's not drop points. It's okay. It's a good vibe. I believe players will get over the line. They will get over the line in time. And, like, for example, I'm going to be doing a stream on deadline day, and I think it's going to be really fascinating just to watch the news unfold in real time, because occasionally, like, news reports will leak out, like, Leeds have been interested in this one since the very start of the window and stuff like that. But there are cases where clubs need to get rid now, because otherwise, in the case of Ben Johnson, for example, he's got 6 months on his contract. If we get him and we wait as long as we can, West Ham need to keep reducing that price point, because otherwise he goes for free and they get nothing. I think if we're clever about it, we'll be fine. I'm hoping that the 49ers are clever enough. But that was the plenty of news for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it, subscribe, drop a comment down below on what you think, what you want to see for the rest of the transfer window, because there's a hell of a lot of stuff that I can do on this channel. There's just various live streams, stuff like that. So I sort of, this is no longer the transfer video. This is just me talking to you as an audience. I want to know what you guys want. And I keep saying this in live streams, and I keep saying this in community posts, but, like, when I'm making stuff, like, I really enjoy making match previews, but those don't get that many views. And people in the comments say they like the match previews, but again, they've not gotten many views. So just let me know in the comments down below what you want to see, what you've enjoyed seeing so far, and what I can keep on making for you, because I really enjoy doing it. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Even become a channel, even become a channel member. Costs a couple of quid a month. If you are feeling very, very kind, it'd be massively appreciated. And I will see you later. My God.